now.
Initial thoughts? Winnipeg Jets are like me in high school. Can't score.
How about that?
It's no laughing matter. Jets are in trouble. They're down 2-1. I predicted that they would win the series in 4. The Flames fans have reminded me that's clearly not happening.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Lynch, where are you going? We're live. We're on the air. It's hour 2 of the RP
show my
show.
technical expertise.
You're going to help him. I appreciate that. We got a new guy, a new face in the bunker. It's not his debut. How you doing, Les Lazaruk?
I'm good, Rod Pedersen.
Awesome.
Frenzy, good to see you, man.
Thank you.
Voice of the Saskatoon Blades joining us in the bunker. Unscheduled appearance, although we all are going golfing here this afternoon.
Yes, we are.
Looking forward to that very much. By the way, I guess this could be called breaking news as we lift the lid on hour 2. Delvin Bro tweeting this morning, in all caps, CFL told us to start looking for jobs in the offseason. That's God telling me it's my time. So if you all know any marketing branding agencies in the United States, want to work with a hardworking, God-fearing king to make some moves, can't keep sitting on my ass. CFL told us to start looking for jobs in off-season. We are currently technically in the off-season, are we not? I'm taking that as the CFL has told us players to start looking for jobs. I'm taking that as them saying there's no season. Lynch, your jaw just hit the floor. Yeah. So what do you think about that news?
Who's that from?
Delvin Bro, star corner of the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
I'd say that's it right there. Enough said.
I unfortunately have to agree. So we're going to get Les's take on all these things. But, Jordan, let's re-up on the quick 6 show topics, okay? Just what we're talking about today. Number 1, Stanley Cup playoffs. Hashtag no lead is safe. CFL's not using it. NHL's taking it. Point 2, Dupes was the rock star of the day on Thursday. He had the scoop of the dub coming back December the 4th. He had a lot of hot takes, and he correctly predicted that the CFL would take option 3, and that is not give us an update on the season yesterday. Point 3, the CFL Board of Governors met Thursday. I'm a little insulted. They think that we're this dumb that they're going to play. That's all I got to say on that. Point 4, the MLSE plan. How do you envision it working? I mentioned that with Darren. I like it. Everybody seems to like it. Point 5, 66 NFL players have opted out. Are they deserving of the backlash that they're getting? The obvious question is no. That's a rhetorical question. They should be able to do whatever they feel is right. The backlash they're getting is sickening. And point 6 is a two-pointer. Kings Park Speedway. I got my racing shirt on today. The Invitational's tomorrow night. 70-plus cars from all across the prairies. We'll see you at Kings Park Motor Speedway. And one more time for Jess Moskaluk last night. I got to say it. Les, you play her on your wonderful radio station. Country music star. Can we put up the photo one more time, please? There, Jess Moskaluk rocking last night. Krugo Fest. They set up a stage on the roof of a parkade, and they sold all the balconies on the north side of the DoubleTree Hotel. So we were all hanging off our balconies. I think it was close to a sellout, and she lost her composure. She had to leave the stage. She was crying for the support from the country fans that came out to support the entertainment industry in a very tough time. They had not performed together since December.
Wow.
She was just overtaken by emotion.
I love the creativity of doing that, to go and take on a roof and then have it available to people all around. I think that's wonderful. That's what you got to do in this pandemic time, is find different ways to get your product out to consumers. And that's a great way of doing it.
I was sitting on the balcony last night with our friends from Bronco Plumbing and Heating thinking, this started with an idea. This is pretty, like some guy thought, we could put a stage here and the whole side of the hotel could be on their balcony watching. And then it happened. What a feeling that must have been.
Well, it's just taking off from what you'd have at Wrigley Field in Chicago, where you've got people in behind the outfield being able to sit on their decks or sit on the balconies or whatever the case may be and look into the ballpark and watch the Cubs play. I mean, they're actually doing that while the Cubs are playing now. They're selling seats up in those areas in order for people to go and watch. And why not?
Couple minutes here before we bring in Mighty Mouth Bryn Griffiths. Les, you are the GOAT of WHL broadcasters. How did you take the news that the dub now targeting December 4th as a start date? And for that matter, OHL and Q2.
Not surprised, because there had been 3 contingencies that I had heard about way back when the WHL had first talked about starting October 2nd. October 2nd was going to get going. They were going to take the first couple of weeks of the season, tack them on to the end, play playoffs after that, and just have the regular schedule as they had. The second contingency was to start October 2nd, depending again on COVID restrictions and government restrictions and all the rest of that, but start only within the first couple of months within your division only. and then see where things were at, and then see if you could incorporate the rest of the divisions into playing against one another. Otherwise, you might be playing within your division or within your conference at the very least for the entire season. And now the third one, which is starting to happen, and there's going to be more contingencies coming out as a result of this delay, but starting December the 4th, and I think it's what's going to happen is you're going to see a couple of months worth of within the division play only, maybe intra-conference in the Eastern Conference, because let's face it, Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta in much better shape with regards to the virus, and we also don't have nightly protests happening as they are unfortunately in places like Portland and Seattle. BC, Dr. Bonnie there is
Henry, yeah.
Dr. Bonnie Henry. She's doing the right thing as far as I'm concerned, being the chief
Locking
medical
everything
health
down?
officer. Locking everything down. I mean, she's not allowing anything as far as an outdoor gathering or an indoor gathering of very many people. And for now, that's probably the right thing to do. Putting a hard date on it might be a little bit excessive. I think you've got to have a little bit of leeway on this, and I think that's what the Western Hockey League's trying to work with in order to get that December 4th happening in BC. I know in Kelowna, Bruce Hamilton, who's the chairman of the board and is as staunch a guy as there is in the Western Hockey League, absolutely needs to have, in his mind, at least a 50% capacity in order to get started in Kelowna, and that's what the hard and fast WHL rule is. Need to have 50% capacity in order to start playing.
But that's
in the
not
Western
going to
Hockey League.
happen based on those rules, though.
Not right now, no. It's hard to imagine. But again, that's now 4 months away, not 2 months away as we were looking at earlier this week.
How about the fans in Saskatoon? How do they feel about it all?
Well, I mean, I think they're looking around just like everybody's fans are looking around and seeing that you've got sports going on in the NHL, which is working phenomenally well, the NBA working phenomenally well, Major League Baseball, which is a dumpster fire, unfortunately, with all the COVID-19 and traveling around, which that's just stupidity on the part of Rob Manfred and the owners for wanting to try and play in home stadiums. But they're looking at those things and they're saying, okay, well, what about you guys? Are you going to start playing? And it comes back to what you believe, Rod, and what I believe is that you can't miss out. You have to somehow find a way to play because out of sight, out of mind, John. If you don't play, people are going to forget you. They're going to find a way to all of a sudden, I've got money. I can do other things. And as soon as you're allowed to do other things, you forget about the things that you used to do, and you may be missing out. You may not be able to get those people back, as your great example, the 1994 Major League Baseball season.
Well, it was a viewer's, not mine, but I've been saying all along that the CFL can't afford to miss a season, but I don't think they're going to play. So they're going to have to deal with the wreckage after that.
Yeah.
Paul Figler's still hanging with us today from Dub Network. He's yours and my boss
yes,
there.
He is.
At dubnetwork.ca. I just love that website, dubnetwork.ca. Les covers the Blades. I cover the Pats and Warriors. But you let me know when Mighty Mouth's ready, because I can go on with Les and Lynch forever.
Yeah.
I did take a little umbrage with your column, and I mentioned it on the air that you said the return to play is all about money. And maybe I misread what you were saying there. Because I don't think it's all about money. I think it's about getting people back to work, getting kids on the ice and on the field and on the diamond.
There's definitely that component to it, but don't think that there isn't a big money component involved as well. Well,
there always is.
Of course there is, and I think that's the key thing, though, is ultimately how do you find a way to make sure that we are getting something out of it? The business models have to be sustainable, and if you aren't not able to make it happen, then it's a loss, and that's why I think you have to be able to get back to playing in order to keep your business going. I don't think being idle allows you to do a good job for your business eventually down the road.
The old-timer told me after World War II in 44, they closed up for 45 to try to get things resurrected again, shut things down, didn't get things going again until 49.
Yeah, well,
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years, yeah.
You're watching Rod Pedersen on demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.